The new year is here, and being consistent in 2023 gives you the opportunity to accomplish more than you could have ever imagined. So that's why in this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you what being consistent means so you can lock in on your new habits for growth and success in every area of your life. So be sure to stick around for the entire episode because also at the end, I'm going to be sharing with you something that I've been working on to help you get consistent and be successful in 2023. So let's do it. Welcome to the Dream Lifestyle Podcast, where the focus and mission is to help you find your how to your biggest goals and dreams. My name is Trevon Gross Jr., and I'm extremely thankful and excited to have you here today because it's the new year. It's a new year, which means that there's new opportunities and new possibilities for us to go higher in our lives. And so in that, we're going to need to be consistent. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's episode. I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that really will allow you to be consistent in 2023 that will really lead to growth, and even better yet, it'll lead to success. It will really lead to real tangible results in your life. Okay, so with these 5 things, they're very practical and they really do apply. So be sure to pay attention, take notes if you're able, because I know that this episode is really going to help you. Also, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. If you're listening to me on a podcast platform, be sure to leave me a review, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching me on YouTube, I really appreciate it. Again, every subscription, every like, every comment, every piece of engagement on this podcast truly allows this podcast to go to the next level and really help other people. Okay. And also, again, the question of the week: how did you grow this week? All right. Now I know that week, that time period between Christmas and New Year's is like one of the greatest relaxing weeks ever, where you just completely lose track of the days. But let me know how you grew this week. Even if you can just say, well, I just relaxed more than I ever did. That's fine. But just let me know in the comments, how did you grow this week? All right. Now let's get into these 5 things after you write that out. Let's get into this, man. I'm really excited about this just because I'm telling you, with these 5 things, especially just the concept of being consistent, being consistent this year should really be a goal, because when you're consistent, it will truly reflect in your results. Okay, it will truly reflect, because you're basically sowing seeds every single day. And if you're able to really sow the right consistent seeds in the right place, in the right manner, you're really going to see a change in your life. And so I really believe that these 5 things that I'm going to be sharing with you will allow you to just become more. And I talk about it all the time, that when you become more, you'll be able to do more and you'll be able to have more. And we all want to have more, right? We all want to have things. We know the types of goals that we have for ourselves, especially now that we're in the new year. But it's really just about really getting clear on who we need to become so that way we can have those things. All right. And so in that, the 5 things, the first thing, all right, the first definition, the first thing that really allows you to be consistent, what being consistent means, number 1 is honoring your word. Honoring your word is crucial, just because a lot of times when people talk about, having the integrity of your word and, your word is bond and all these different types of things, they talk about it in the context of, how your word applies to other people, right? In terms of your reputation and are you going to do what you actually say? Are your actions and your words actually going to match up? All these different types of things. It always talks about it in the lens of, just how other people receive your word. But what I'm talking about when you think about being consistent is really, are you honoring your word to yourself? Okay. And that word are the goals that you wrote out for yourself, either before this year or even maybe this year start at the beginning. But those goals that you set out for yourself, those are basically commitments that you're making to yourself. And another way for me to say honoring your word is basically honoring process. Okay. An example of this would be if you're somebody that you have a weight loss goal. Okay, the goal is to lose 15 pounds. The goal is to lose 30 pounds, whatever the case may be. But the process is, okay, well, I need to go to the gym 3 days a week. The process is, okay, I need to eat healthy for, 4 days a week or whatever the case may be, right? That's the process. And so when you honor your word, you're basically saying to yourself, okay, this is where I want to be. This is where I am. And so the process, the bridge between the two, I need to basically trust myself enough, build trust in myself, build confidence in myself to say, I'm going to do this because I'm going to honor a commitment to myself. Not only is my word to others valid, but I need to make sure that my word to myself is valid as well. And so I'm going to honor process, and I'm going to do that by honoring my word. Okay. And so if you're somebody, another example of this would be if you have a financial goal, right? You have a saving number that you want to get to. Honoring process may look like I'm going to make sure I say no this year. Right. I'm going to really learn and work the muscle of saying no this year, even when my friends go out or whatever the case may be, whatever is stopping you, whatever obstacles in front of you that's stopping you from saving your number, right? Or working in your budget, whatever's stopping you from that, then you basically do what you have to do and honor your word and saying, look, this process means more to me right now, and I need to trust myself and honor my word and honor this process because this is the goal. I want to lose this weight. I want to hit this number. I want to, reach this position, whatever the case may be. But you do that by honoring your word. Okay. Now, the second thing in terms of what being consistent means. Okay. Now, being consistent, secondly, means that you have self-awareness. Okay, you have self-awareness. And this is a very general self-awareness because at the end of the day, you do need to know yourself. You need to know your strengths, right? And a lot of us, we're easily able to talk about our strengths. We're easily able to talk about what we're good at, right? We're easily able to show people our talents, right? But we also need to have the self-awareness about our weaknesses. We also need to have the self-awareness about what we're not good at. We need to have the self-awareness about what we just don't know. Right. And in that self-awareness, again, we're just basically shining light on our blind spots. So that way we can do what we have to do and direct that consistency at the right level to the right place. Because an example of this would be, right, if you're somebody that you're like, well, I want to start waking up early. And let's say currently you wake up at 9 a.m. There's no point. You're only going to frustrate yourself if you just say, well, starting tomorrow, I'm going to start waking up at 6:30 in the morning and I'm going to do it 5 days a week. Right. That's only going to frustrate you because if you're used to waking up at 9 a.m., that is a really big gap between you waking up at 9 a.m. and you waking up at 6:30 a.m. So the self-awareness piece kicks in where it's the honesty with self, where it's, you know what? I'm used to waking up at 9 a.m. I do need to wake up earlier. So rather than 9 a.m., let's start with 8 a.m. Right. And then as you are consistent in that, you're going to be building that confidence and honoring your word, like I mentioned before. Then you're going to basically put yourself on a track where you're growing into your consistency rather than just going cold turkey and just a complete disruption to your schedule and saying, oh, I'm going from 9 a.m. to 6:30. And, then emotionally, you're going to be in turmoil just because, you're going to, the alarm's going to go off at 6:30, but you're just upset because you're like, oh my God, this is way too early. Right. And let's say you even do it once or even twice, but let's say you don't follow all the way through where every day you do it. Right. But I say all that to say you need to have self-awareness so that way you can set the right targets so you can really grow into that consistency. Because if you're able to do it only once, it's not really being consistent. But if you have the self-awareness, right? If you have the self-awareness, you really put yourself in position to be consistent. Okay. Because again, you want to be consistent in a way at a level that is allowing you to slowly but surely grow, not just, you just become it the very next day. Right. And that's for anything. And that's really in anything, right? Like you don't necessarily start off with, 1,000 pounds on the bar or anything like that. If you're lifting weights, you don't just start off saving, let's say 75% of your check. Like that's a huge game changer, right? These are habits. These are things that you have to grow into. Okay. But it's going to require you to have self-awareness. All right. It's going to really require you to have self-awareness. You really need to know yourself. And I'll throw you this bonus. If you really need to get to know yourself, if you're somebody like, oh, dag, I don't really like, how do I get to know myself? Start with a morning routine. Start with just spending time with yourself. Start with just being honest and even writing out things that you know and things you don't know and things you're just not good at. All right. Be honest with yourself. That's where you can start. Okay. In terms of building that self-awareness. Now, the third thing, which kind of works with the self-awareness piece, the third thing that really adds to what being consistent means is emotional mastery. Okay. You need to be able to master your emotions. You need to be aware not only of yourself in terms of just how you operate, but you need to be really aware of your emotions. And the reason why this is so important in terms of being consistent is because a lot of times being consistent is boring. And if I were to explain that deeper, being consistent doesn't always feel good. And emotionally, we're always going to want to do things that feel good, right? But if you are, let's say, a week in of going to the gym or doing that challenging thing, you're not always going to feel like doing it. You're not always going to feel like, going above and beyond. But when you have emotional mastery, you then are able to basically make the decision consistently that I'm going to do what's necessary. I'm going to honor process. I'm going to honor my word, and I'm going to leverage my self-awareness so that way I don't allow my emotions to get in the way. Because your emotions will only betray you. Your emotions will only keep you stuck. Your emotions will only keep you at the level of making money that you're at. Your emotions will keep you where you are only if you allow them, though. But it's a choice. It's a choice that you can make, but it's going to require you to have the self-awareness of those emotions so you can make the proper decisions with that awareness. Okay. And so in that, when you think about process, when you think about just being consistent, you really want to make sure that you have things in place that allow you to always be in a good mood. And even when you do encounter moments where you don't feel like doing something, okay, I know that, I don't necessarily feel like waking up as early as I should on Wednesdays or as I get later in the week. So I need to start going to bed earlier. Or it allows for better planning as you go on. Right. But it's requiring you to basically have a level of emotional mastery so you can make those decisions and also build out your schedule in a way that just breeds consistency, because consistency truly is the key to success, especially in 2023, because I know that this is a big year for a lot of us. And this is where I like to say this is a good year to really draw the line in the sand on some things when it comes to just how we're going to live our lives. That way we can become more. Now, even in that, okay, you need to be able to set up systems, okay? Being consistent means that you are setting up systems, whatever that means, right, for yourself. Setting up systems in your business, setting up systems in your personal life, setting up systems in your finances, setting up systems in your relationships, whatever the case may be. You want to be setting up systems. And this is important just because, your system, it works congruently and in heartbeat with your solar system. Okay. You want to be able to set up things that are just automated, where it's just automatic in the sense of, your morning routine. It's automatic in the sense of when you spend time with friends. It's automatic in the sense of when you look at your budget, when you print out, your bank statements, whatever the case may be. Right. So, but apply that to whatever your goals are this year. Right. You want to be able to set up systems with those goals. And what that can look like practically is joining a group. That can look like, getting accountability partners. That can look like, scheduling out, in advance, whatever, just managing your time, whatever the case may be. But, having a month to month, I have personal meetings that are extremely helpful on a month to month basis where I'm able to really sit down and look at my budget, where I'm able to really sit down and think about, okay, what did I do well this month? What did I not do well this month? Where did I, what fell through the cracks, whatever the case may be for you. But you want to be able to set up systems, and that is super important just because anyone that is successful has systems, and you can establish those systems, and they don't need to be anything crazy. You don't need, 50 systems or anything like that. You can start with just one system that can be your morning routine, where it's just automatic. When you wake up, these are the 4 things that I do. When I go to bed, this is what I do, right? And then you build out from there. Okay, but you want to have systems that, again, put you in position to be consistent for your success. Okay. And systems, I'm telling you, systems are so important. And in that, right, having systems, make sure that you have an accountability piece to those systems. So that way, again, even if while you're still growing in the self-awareness piece in just your habits as well as just your emotions, you have an accountability partner or accountability group that is helping you basically add a little weight to you need to do what you need to do. So that way you're not falling victim to your emotions or falling victim to, just your own demise because you are basically doing something alone. Because there's no way you're going to get where you need to get alone. And so there are groups out there. There are people that you can, you have friends, you have people that will hold you accountable to your goals. And it's going to require you, again, set up those systems. I'm telling you, set up the systems. And then lastly, the very last thing that really defines what being consistent means is having a purpose. Okay. It's having a purpose, and having a purpose is crucial. Having a purpose is crucial just because, again, having a purpose really ties all of this together, because a purpose is something that is bigger than you. Okay. Having a purpose is something that is way more important than you, has nothing to do with you, has everything to do with other people. I talk about this all the time, but having a purpose will simply allow you to easily make decisions just because you understand what's at stake when it comes to those decisions, right? When you think about waking up early, when you have a purpose, when you have those purpose-filled goals that I know that you've written out for this year, when you really have that purpose, when it comes to whether or not you'll wake up early, you understand it's a matter of, do I sleep in or do I lose the ability to impact people, right? When it comes to going to the gym, do I not go to the gym, or do I lose an opportunity to motivate people that they can lose weight too? Whatever the case may be for you and your goals, right? If it's a financial goal, it may be, well, I could go out and have a good time with my friends right now, but is that taking away from my ability to build generational wealth for my family? Whatever the case, what I mean, for future generations. Like, these are the types of decisions that you'll be able to put yourself in position to have and make just by, again, having a purpose. Because when you have a purpose, it makes these decisions a lot easier, and you'll be able to make faster decisions. You'll be able to make more decisions, which is going to lead to faster progress and accelerated growth in your life. Okay. But being consistent in that will allow you to just simply always have a guideline for how you're going to make decisions. Okay. It's basically having principles in terms of how you make these different types of decisions. But it starts with, again, having a purpose. Okay, when you're very clear on your purpose. For me, my purpose is rooted in really helping people accomplish their goals and dreams and showing them how, right? And so when I make my decisions, it's really under that lens. If the decision that's in front of me does not serve that purpose, well, then it's an easy decision. It's probably a no. But when it is serving that purpose, well, then it's absolutely, I'm doing this. I'm basically honoring process, right? If I were to recap everything, I'm honoring my word by honoring process. I'm having the self-awareness to know, okay, this is what I know. This is what I don't know. This is what I need to grow in, so that way I can complete this purpose. I have the emotional mastery to, even as I hit those emotional roadblocks, okay, I need to, make the decision despite what I feel like doing. And I'm setting up the proper systems so that way I can operate in my purpose. Okay. But when you have your purpose, it allows you to really make better decisions for your life. It allows you to make really, really good decisions that truly lead to your growth. And so with that, just to wrap up what the 5 things are that really allow you to be consistent in 2023, this new year. 1, honoring your word. Number 2, having self-awareness. Number 3, emotional mastery. Number 4, setting up systems. And number 5, having a purpose. All right. Now, I hope that this was helpful to you. If you got something from this episode, please be sure to leave a comment. Be sure to like, share this episode. I got to share with you this new thing I've been working on. Man, I'm so excited about this. So what I want you to do right now, I want you to go to dreamsociety.info. This is the first and only and the best accountability group in the world, where every Monday morning we are meeting to basically set targets for the week, take action on those targets, and win. Okay. It is a great accountability group. Again, if you're somebody that you are looking for accountability, like real accountability, not the type of accountability where it's there for 2 weeks and then it goes ghost on you, right? How many of us has that happened to, where you reach out to a friend like, hey, be my accountability partner for this, and the next thing you know, they're like gone, and they're, they got busy with their own life. This is an accountability group that I created. I'm super excited about it. I already know that people are really being helped through it, and I want you to join. So all you have to do to join this accountability group is go to dreamsociety.info. so that way you can join this amazing group, so that way you can just, again, be around like-minded people that are truly wanting to take action and get consistent and build discipline for their goals. All right. I want you to be a part of it because, again, we really do cover and help you set up those systems. We help you honor your word. We help you build that self-awareness, that emotional mastery, and really leverage your purpose so that way you can be successful in 2023. I'm telling you, 2023 is truly a year where you got to draw your line in the sand about just who you're going to be. You need to draw your line in the sand about who you want to become. Draw your line in the sand about what you want to do. Draw your line in the sand about what you want to have, and just honor the process. Do what you got to do. Whatever it takes, just do it. Okay. And you're going to need a community. You're going to need help in that. And I would love to help you in any way, shape, or form that I can. So I appreciate you listening to this episode. I hope you got some value from it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys next week. Always remember, your dream is possible as long as you're willing to work for it.